Veverly Gary Hamilton is an attorney and the sole owner of the law offices of Veverly Gary Hamilton, PA, where she practices in the areas of family law, personal injury, medical malpractice, and criminal defense. She also worked as a registered nurse for 27 years. That's an interesting combination, isn't it? Veverly is admitted to practice law in all of Florida state courts, the United States District Court for the Southern District of Florida, and United States District Court for the Western District of Wisconsin. She is a member of the Florida Bar and the American Association for Justice. She is a member of the ACLU, where she serves as president of the Treasure Coast chapter, chair of the Treasure Coast chapter legal panel, and a board member of the ACLU of Florida. She is a board member of the Martin County Democratic Black Caucus, where she serves as the chair of the Policy and Bylaws Committees and provides legal advice to the caucus. She also apparently has a lot of spare time. She is also a board member and serves as legal counsel for Indiantown Community Outreach, Inc., and is advisory legal counsel for Wings of Deliverance, Inc. Mrs. Gary Hamilton earned her JD from Nova Southeastern University Shepherd Broad Law Center in 2004, Bachelor of Arts in Political Science with a minor in Sociology, cum laude, in 2000 from FAU, and an associate degree in nursing from Palm Beach State College in 1989. She earned that when she was 5 years old. She also holds a certificate in ethnic studies from FAU. Due to her outstanding academic work at FAU, she was inducted into the National Political Science Honor Society, and during law school, she was listed in Who's Who among American law students and made the Dean's List several semesters and basically kicked butt. Please give it up for Veverly Gary Hamilton. Thank you for being with us so much.
I appreciate you inviting me. Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for that wonderful introduction. Well, I'm just so glad to see all the different faces here today. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Mayor Greg Orlovic, Chief John Bolick, and Port St. Lucie City Council for their vision in recognizing that this Race Relations and Inclusion Forum is very, very important in these times. As you know, there's a lot of national attention, but a lot of these things that are happening around the country, I think needs to be talked about. They need to be confronted. And I think if we, as American citizens, recognize and understand that we're all in this together. And if we can have a society, even though we're diverse, we can all get along, understand that we all come from different backgrounds, different cultures, but respect one another. I think that would be an important step in helping to bridge the gap between police and the communities in which they serve, and they've been sworn to protect as well. I would also like to thank the public for attending this forum. It's very important that the public is involved, which is the community. And I would encourage actually the mayor to do this more than once a year. If anyone thinks the same thing, I think you should raise your hand or start clapping your hands. This is very, very good. Yes, no, this is awesome. It really, really is. First of all, I'm going to be speaking about what to do if stopped by police or a model traffic stop. Obviously, there are different situations that police encounter, so obviously this may not apply in every situation, but for the most part, I think the ACLU believes that an informed citizenry is important. They should know what their rights are when they're stopped by the police. We do believe if they are informed, it would probably reduce a lot of trepidation that many of us have when we're stopped by law enforcement, no matter what color you are, whether you're Black, white, Latino, Asian, Native American. The ACLU fully understands that police officers have a unique role and a position within our society. They have the vital and the difficult job of protecting all of us. And, they must perform their duties without sacrificing, we believe at the ACLU, civil liberties that we all have in this country. The ACLU of Florida works to ensure that police officers do their jobs without violating individual constitutional rights. We work to promote police accountability and oversight while educating Floridians about their rights in police encounters. As you can see up here, we rely on the police to keep us safe and treat us all fairly, as we discussed in one of the conference rooms a little while ago, regardless of our race, ethnicity, national origin, or religion. There is some note of caution. Some state laws may vary. Separate rules apply, at checkpoints and when entering the U.S., including at airports. For those that are deaf or hard of hearing, there is a website that you all can go to. It's aclu.org/deaf rights, for an American Sign Language video on knowing your rights when you're stopped by the police, starring Marlee Matlin. Okay, so what are your rights if you're stopped by police? You have the right to remain silent. If you wish to exercise that right, say so out loud. You have the right to refuse to consent to a search of yourself, your car, or your home. If you are not under arrest, you have the right to calmly leave. You also have the right to a lawyer if you are arrested and ask for one immediately. Regardless of your immigration status or citizenship status, you also have constitutional rights. Now, what are your responsibilities as a citizen? You do need to stay calm and you need to be polite, and we just talked about that. Many of the law enforcement officers, stated that, sometimes, when they do make stops, sometimes, of course, citizens are upset about being stopped, but you still have to be respectful. If you want the police to respect you, we have to respect them. They're only doing their jobs. Do not interfere with or obstruct the police. Do not lie or give false documents. Do prepare yourself and your family in case you are arrested. And also, do remember the details of the encounter. If you have a problem with the officer, if they stop you, we just ask that you file a complaint, a written complaint, or call the ACLU, local ACLU, if you feel your rights have been violated. Stay calm. Do not run. Resist or obstruct the police, even if you're innocent. When you're pulled over by the police, and even if you feel like you should not have been pulled over, this is no time for you to argue your case, okay? That's what you have, the court of law, your day in court for. Or the police are violating your rights. Keep your hands where the police can see them at all times. Ask if you are free to leave. If the officer says yes, calmly and silently walk away. If you're under arrest, you have a right to know why you are being arrested, okay? You have the right also to remain silent, and you cannot be punished for refusing to answer questions. If you wish to remain silent, tell the officer out loud. In some states, you must give your name if asked to identify yourself. You do not have to consent to a search of yourself or your belongings. But, word of caution, police may pat down your clothing if they suspect a weapon. You should not physically resist. I repeat, do not physically resist. But you do have the right to refuse consent for any further search. And if you do consent, it can affect you later in court. Now, what if you are, when you are stopped, and what do you do if you're stopped in your car? Turn off the car, turn on the internal light, open the window part way, and place your hands on the wheel again. Please place your hands on the wheel so that the officers can see your hands, all right? Upon request, if they do ask, show the police your driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance. If an officer or an immigration agent asks to look inside your car, please note you can refuse to consent to the search, all right? But if the police believe your car contains evidence of a crime, your car can be searched without your consent. All right, if you are a passenger, you can ask if you are free to leave. If the officers say yes, sit silently or calmly leave. Even if the officer says no, you have the right to remain silent either way. I'm not sure if we have anyone in the room that's not a citizen, but they may have family members that may not have full citizenship. So this is something that you can, of course, tell your family members that may not have full citizenship in the event they're pulled over by police. You have the right to remain silent and, of course, and do not discuss your immigration or citizenship status with the police, immigration agents, or any other officials, all right? You do not have to answer questions about where you were born, whether you are a U.S. citizen, or how you entered into this country. And please know, separate rules do apply, all right, at international borders, airports, and for individuals or certain immigrant visas, including tourists and business travelers. If you're not a U.S. citizen and an immigration agent requests your immigration papers, please tell your family members, okay? They must show them if they have them with them. If you're over 18, we're telling you, carry your immigration documents with you at all times. It's very important. If you do not have your immigration papers, just tell the officer that you want to remain silent. And please, 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 do not lie. Tell your family members, like I said, if they're not full citizens, do not lie about their citizenship or provide false documents or fake documents. If you're arrested, please do not resist arrest, even if you believe it's unfair, okay? You can, say that you wish to remain silent and ask for a lawyer. You do have that right, but do not resist arrest, even if you think you're being arrested unfairly. Don't give any explanation or excuses. If you can't pay for a lawyer, of course, you have the right to a free one in this country. And we would ask you not to say anything or make any decisions without a lawyer, because things that you say, of course, can be used against you later in a court of law. All right? The police cannot listen. If you have the right to make a local phone call, the police cannot listen if you call a lawyer. We also ask that you memorize the phone number of your family members if you are arrested, and your lawyer if you have one, and also make emergency plans if you have children or take medication. Special considerations for non-citizens. Ask your lawyer about the effect of a criminal conviction or plea on your immigration status. Do not discuss your immigration status with anyone but your lawyer. I'll go on. While you're in jail, an immigration agent may visit you. You do not have to answer questions or sign anything before talking to a lawyer. We just ask that you read all papers fully. If you do not understand or cannot read the papers, tell the officer you need an interpreter. This is if you're taken into immigration or ICE custody. Once again, like I said, everyone in here may be a U.S. citizen, but you may have family members that are not. So I'm going to go through this anyway. Let them know they have the right to a lawyer, but the government does not have to provide one for them. If they do not have a lawyer, ask for a list of free or low-cost legal services or like legal aid. You have the right to contact your consulate or their consulate, or have an officer inform the consulate of their arrest. You also should tell the ICE agent, if they wish, they should tell the ICE agent if they wish to remain silent. And do not discuss your immigration status. Please do not with anyone but your lawyer. And also, please do not sign anything, such as a voluntary departure or stipulated removal, without talking to a lawyer first. And also, please remember your immigration number and give it to your family. It will help family members to locate you. And, of course, just keep a copy of your immigration documents with someone you trust. Remember, police misconduct cannot be challenged on the street. I say that again. Police conduct cannot be challenged on the street, all right? That is not the place for it, all right? They're trying to do their job, and like I said, you may not feel like if you're stopped, it's fair, but this is where a lot of things escalate and they get out of hand. I know we've all been pulled over for one reason or another, even a traffic stop, but even if you you don't feel like, you were speeding, still, that is not the time for you to get into, an argument with the officer. Just be respectful and do what the officers tell you to do, because obviously they have a job that they're trying to do, and, and that is to protect and serve. So like I said, don't physically resist the officers and don't threaten to file a complaint. Just write everything down. You remember, including the officer's, badge number, the patrol car number, which agency the officers were from, and any other details. And, if you're injured, take photographs of your injuries and, seek medical attention first. If you need to, file a written complaint with the agency or that police agency's Internal Affairs Division, or if, some counties or towns have civilian complaint boards. And if you don't want to, you can also file the complaint anonymously if you wish. All right? If you have any issues, we ask that you call your local ACLU, or you can visit us at www.aclu.org/profiling. We ask that you, I have some cards to hand out if anyone wants any. What to do, or if you're stopped by police, and to know what your rights are, all right? I do believe, the ACLU believes that, if they're educated about what, if citizens are educated about what their rights are when they're stopped, a lot of the issues that we've seen, not only in this state but around the country, a lot of the issues that escalate into tragic issues can probably be avoided. There's just a lot of misinformation out there between what's going, between citizens and the police. And, we just ask that the police understand that there's a lot of trepidation when you're pulled over by police, and when citizens are pulled over by you all, and that you just understand, the climate that we're in. And, our motto is that we know every situation is different, but that you always try to de-escalate the situation first before you escalate it. And that is the end of my presentation about what you should do if stopped by the police.